Hello there. Today we're going to talk about Audio Architect, and I would like to start off by showing where we can download it. So, what I would do is go to Google, and then we simply type in download Audio Architect, and then you're going to have your first link here, which is going to go to Harman's website, HiQNet Audio Architect. Then you press download. In this case, I've already got the software installed, so I'm going to go ahead and close this and open it up. Sometimes it can take a moment here, so once we get logged in, we want to make sure we are connected to Wi-Fi. So if we're not, we definitely want to be. And if this is the first time you've ran the software, it's really important to go to File and then Application Options. So you're going to have Network Connectivity. In this case, I'm just using a computer that's already been set up, so I'm going to delete this. But when you came in, normally you'd have nothing here, so you'd want to hit Add Connection, and then you select Wi-Fi. Because the reason why we use the Wi-Fi adapter is that the Ethernet adapter is going to be on our lighting VLAN, so we're going to have to use Wi-Fi to talk to the audio equipment. So once we've added our adapter, we're going to start seeing our devices come online. So we want to go to File and then Open, and then we're going to go to, we don't want to save our changes because I haven't done anything yet. Then we want to go to our My Documents. We always save the files in My Documents, and then we're going to want to go to the most recently edited one. So I can see here that this one was edited just a minute ago because this is my second take of this video. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and select it and hit open. If there were a newer version, I would select that. There sometimes can be multiple copies in this folder, so you just want to pick the most recent version. Once we get it open, now I can see my devices are online. So you can tell that by these green dots here. So we're just going to go ahead and dive right in. And what we need to do is go online. So up here, we select go online, and now we get our R and S. So this is receive and send. This is an open park, so I don't want to change any of what they've got going on. So I'm going to go ahead and just receive, which means I'm going to gain, the levels in my software are going to be matched to what the amp was turned to. Hit OK. And now let's say we want to look inside the BSS. You can select it, and when you know it's selected whenever it's in yellow, and then just double click. Now, this is the programming inside of the DSP. From the input card, we go to our Ducker. So this is where the actual laptop and the microphone plug in. We go out from there to the Ducker. This is what mutes the music when someone talks into the microphone. And then we have the mixer, which combines the laptop and the microphone into one singular source. Then we go to the gain and input, which this is where we actually control zone audio levels, and then we have the BlueLink output, which is where we go out of the BSS on a Cat6 to the amp. So any one of these we can double click on. So let's say if I want to look at the input card, I can double click. I see that we don't have the gain turned up at all on the laptop. We do have the gain on the microphone turned up to plus 18. If I click on the Ducker, then I can see our threshold, which is the main setting we change, is at minus 18. Mixer, we don't ever need to change anything. Gain and input, now this is the other important one. This is where I can see that really none of these zones are turned up too much right now. So this is where we might have to tweak if we want to turn it up in the party rooms, or turn it down at the front desk, or turn it down at the cafe, or turn it up over by the attractions. You can simply see these zones 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is listed: front desk, attractions, cafe, seating, party rooms, subs. So, and if we want to mute individual zones, we have the M button. Like if we're testing, we want to mute things, that's where you can do that as well. And then you can also mouse over these lines. You can tell to see that the audio is in fact traveling through the system. That green line shows me that I have audio. So I can tell that output on our BlueLink that we are getting audio. And then now let's go back. So if I press my tab here, then let's say if I want to look in the amp, I do the same thing. I double click on the amp, and then now I get my amp box here, and I have my 4 amp channels, and I can see that they're all playing music, looking good. It's only 11 o'clock in the morning, so I wouldn't expect it to be too loud. These 4 dials here, I can see they are turned up a little bit from, I think they default towards minus 20. So anyways, these have been turned up on the amp side. Let's say if I was getting some buzzing, just as an example, maybe you turn down the amp, you turn all these down maybe to, closer to minus 20, and then you could come in back into the BSS, and you can maybe turn it up on the source side. Maybe then I'll turn up my input and on the laptop and on my microphone. So if the Ducker is not triggering correctly, that's where you do it here. Like I said, you want to adjust that threshold. If maybe someone's not talking loud enough or talking too loud, that's where you can adjust that. So, and like I said, then you can use this line to kind of mouse over and make sure that the audio is in fact passing. So, I think that should give you a pretty good view of everything. Individual zone control again is here in the gain and input, and you just double click on all these. Got our amp, and yeah, it should be all pretty self-explanatory. I guess last thing is when you're all done, we're gonna go ahead and hit go offline, and then we're gonna hit file and save to save any changes that we made. And then I want to go ahead and close the software, and then we can just double check. Yep, I can see that my file has now changed and that it was properly saved. So I think that should wrap it up, and if you have any other questions on Audio Architect, feel free to let me know. And yeah, hopefully this can help you on learning the software.